Okay, so we're going to be looking at N.5 on iExcel, which deals with interpreting box and whisker plots. So this is our little cheat sheet that we have over here on the left-hand side that we're going to be using to answer these questions. The first question says the Westford High School orchestra teacher, Mr. Buchanan, asked the students in the violin section how many minutes they practice each day. The box and whisker plot shows the results. So for this particular box and whisker, they're asking us what is the value of the upper quartile. So if we're looking for the upper quartile is actually this line right here. And if we look on the diagram or the picture, it's what corresponds to that is this line right here. So now we have to look at kind of the scale and how they're counting. So it seems as if they're counting by 5. So if I were to check it, this would be 30, 35, 40, 45. So this line is actually represented by 45 minutes. So it took them, actually, they were practicing for 45 minutes. Great. So if we look at the next question, it says, Mrs. Lloyd, a biology teacher, is recording test scores in her grade book. The box and whisker plot shows the results. So they're actually now asking what is the maximum value. So if we look at our little cheat sheet, the maximum value is the whisker all the way on the right hand side. So that corresponds with that part over here. So this particular number, again, we have to check the scale to see what they're counting by, and it seems as if they're counting by 5s, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90. So the correct answer would be 95 points. Great. The next question says, a market research company surveyed a number of people about how much they spent at restaurants last month. The box and whisker plot shows the results. So they're asking specifically for the median. So we go to our cheat sheet. The median is the number on the line inside the box. So right in here, so again, we have to check our scales to see how much they're counting by, and they're counting by tens. So 20, 30, 40. So 50 would be the correct answer for the median. Okay, so the next question says, every semester, Kingwood Community College records the amount spent by students on textbooks and includes this information in their college catalog. The box and whisker plot shows the results. So they said, what is the range? Well, again, our cheat sheet tells us that the range is the highest number minus the lowest number. The highest number, or the maximum number, is always located on the right-hand side of the whisker. So that particular number for us would be 500. And then the lowest or minimum number is always located on the left-hand side. So that would be our 300. So we're just going to simply subtract 500 minus 300, which will give us an answer of $200. Okay, we'll try about 2 more, and you guys should be good to go after that. It says the water company that serves Millersburg is rolling out a new water saving program, but in order to be effective, they need to target customers that pay a certain amount on their bills. They start by reviewing how much customers paid on their December bills. The box and whisker plot shows the results. What is the value of the upper quartile? So the upper quartile is, again, cheat sheet. Here's our upper quartile. So this line on the right-hand side of the box portion is what represents our upper quartile. So in this case, our upper quartile, the line that represents the upper quartile is actually 80. Okay, next question. It says, some friends are comparing the amount of weekly reading they have to do for their classes. The box and whisker plot shows the results, and they're asking us what is the maximum value. So the maximum value, again, is the number all the way on the right of the whisker. And so that number is right here, or that location is right here, and then we have to check our scale to see what they're counting by, and it seems as if they're counting by 5, so that's 80, 85, 90. So this would be 95 pages would be our answer. And this will be the last one that we do because I think you guys will pretty much get the hang of it. It says a professor at Newberry College assigned an essay with a specific word count requirement. He is counting the words in his students' essays to make sure that they all meet the requirement. The box and whisker plot shows the results. They're asking us for what is the lower quartile. So again, here's our cheat sheet. Lower quartile is actually this line that starts the box. That's our Q1, our lower quartile, and that location is represented here in that problem. So our answer would be 1200. Okay, so a few things that I just want to point out that questions that we didn't actually cover. The interquartile range is something that we haven't talked about. So the interquartile range is actually Q3 minus Q1. So Q3 is this line right here, and Q1 would be this line right here. So that's how you find the interquartile range. That is different from the actual range. The range is the highest number minus the lowest number. And something else that we didn't cover was the outlier. Actually, we'll do, they're asking for the interquartile range here. So actually, we'll do this one last problem, and we'll also talk about the outliers because they do have some outliers present. So it says an audio industry magazine surveyed some automotive dealerships in order to determine how many trucks each one typically sold in a month. The box and whisker plot shows the results. So they're asking us for the interquartile range. So again, the interquartile range is Q3 minus Q1. So we're looking at the right-hand side of the box minus the left-hand side of the box. So the right-hand side of the box minus the left-hand side of the box. So let's look at the scale and see what they're counting by. It seems as if they're counting by 2, so 12, 14, 16, 18. So this is represented by 18. So 18, and then we're going to subtract 12. So 18 minus 12 would give us 6. So 6 trucks. Before I hit submit, I also wanted to talk about the outlier. So the outlier is, even though they didn't ask us for it in this question, the outlier is the number that's basically outside of the group of numbers that we were dealing with. So our outliers would be this number right here, because it's like an outcast. So 30 would be considered an outlier. 0 would be considered an outlier, and 2 would be considered an outlier, because most of the numbers seem to be between 10 and 20. I also wanted to point out that 25% of our data it's actually kind of cut up into 4 sections. So that's one section right here, another section here, another section here, another section here. So it's cut up, it's quarters. So each section is going to be 25%. That's something else that you needed to know in case you come across a problem like that. All right, I hope this helps.